Hello and welcome back to Among the Silenced. I'm your host Heather, and I am terribly sorry that it's been almost, if not a month, since my first episode. I got sick courtesy of lovely allergy season where I sounded like Snuffleupagus. I did attempt to record while sounding like Snuffleupagus, and let's just say it was not pretty. Then my congestion went from my nose to my ears, and I could barely hear for a good week. So I really would appreciate Mother Nature getting it together at this point, because I'm tired of being attacked by allergies, because we get warm, then she refreezes, then we get warm and she refreezes, and I'm a little over dying from allergies. And then the last 2 weeks or so, we went from tornado watches to thunderstorm watches to flash flooding to the Ohio River literally flooding. So whoever is playing Jumanji up here in northern Kentucky, can you please put the game away, call Jumanji, do whatever you have to do, because I'm over this crazy weather. So enough with my weirdo never normal life. Today we are going to talk about a pretty rough case. More so rough just because I don't have a conclusion for you, and I really hate cases that don't have an answer. But today we are going to talk about 14-year-old Emily Pike. Now, if you haven't heard about Emily Pike's case, don't feel sorry. I did not hear about this case at first either until I was doom scrolling Facebook, and one of my friends had shared a post written by one of Emily's, I'm not sure if it's a friend or a family, but it was letting everybody know that Emily had been found and that we were still looking for answers. So let's get into today and talk about Emily. So Emily, like most of us, was a daughter, a sister, a niece, a cousin. She was a granddaughter and a friend. She was kind, gentle, soft-spoken. She was a very artistic girl, and she loved to paint. She was quirky, funny, and full of laughter. She was smart. She got good grades in school. She was, at the time, learning to play guitar. Her favorite color was pink, which, I'm sorry, Emily, we're going to have to disagree on that favorite color. I had a pink palace when I was little, and everything in my room was pink, and I've not really been much of a pink person since living in a pink palace for 3 years. However, Emily loved pink, and she recently discovered makeup, which most of us do around this age, and apparently there could never be enough glitter and there could never be enough color. She loved animals. She had a cat when she was younger, and when it had passed, she begged her family for a new one. Like most teenagers, she was looking forward to the future. She was thinking about college, pursuing art, and planning for her future. Her cousin Alyssa was quoted saying she wanted so much more for herself. However, unlike most of us, Emily was part of the San Carlos Apache tribe. And sadly, like many other indigenous people and people of color, she became a statistic. Native American and Alaskan Native rates of murder, rape, and violent crimes are higher than all other national averages. A 2016 study by the National Institute of Justice found that 84% of American Indian and Alaskan Native women have experienced some form of violence in their lifetime. including 56% who have experienced sexual violence, which is sadly what a lot of my research into Emily's case uncovered. No one wanted to talk about Emily. It was more of who Emily was based on the color of her skin, not who she was as the beautiful 14-year-old girl who still had so much life left to live, and that was just taken away way too soon. Her family, while Rocky and her relatives described her as very fluttering around, adding sparkle to all of those who she touched. Emily's dad was in and out of prison. During this time, he is currently incarcerated and has been since 2024 for arson and criminal damages. However, he was granted a permission to attend his daughter's memorial service and her burial. Emily was not taken from her mom. She was not taken from her home. She was, however, during this time in a group home for mental health treatment. According to her family, there just weren't enough resources on the San Carlos reservation to help her. And she was not the only child who's had to leave their home in order to get treatment. And honestly, it's just tragic that we're separating children from their families because they need help with their mental health or whatever it is, and we can't keep children with their families. I get that times are tough. I get resources are limited, but to be separating children from their families, it's just unexcusable no matter how you slice it. So Emily went missing from her group home in Mesa, Arizona on January 27th, 2025. She was last seen walking in the area near Phoenix, Arizona. According to the police report, the initial call to police was made about 8:19 p.m. and indicated a juvie AWOL approximately 30 minutes prior. Emily had left her group home out of her bedroom window. The window screen had been pushed out from the inside, and according to Mesa police, this had been the fourth missing person report in regards to Emily alone. The home manager indicated that the last time Emily had run away, she was found near Fitch Park near Center and 6th Streets. Police said they checked the park, but Emily wasn't there. The police report stated that on January 29th at 3:35 p.m., a missing bulletin was sent out statewide. However, the police had listed Emily as a runaway, considering this was the fourth time that she has left. And the facts and the evidence of her leaving on her own volition were all there. It was even reported later by friends she did leave to go home like she has done before. They believe she may just have accepted the wrong ride this time. On January 28th, police spoke with what appears to be a group home employee. The report states she told Mesa police that Emily was on medication for mental health and behavioral issues. The employee also provided the contact for Emily's case manager with the San Carlos Apache tribe. On February 2nd, a voicemail was received by the group home from an unknown person stating that Emily was with her mom on San Carlos Apache tribal land. However, that voicemail wasn't received until 5 days later on February 7th. The group home didn't tell police about it until another 4 days later, reporting it to the police on February 11th. That same day, The report states that Emily's case manager told police she had asked Emily's mom about the tip. The report states that Emily's mom, Delisa, sorry if I said that wrong, told the case manager that she wasn't there and that it was an old post. That was an old tip from another time that Emily had left the group home and had found her way home. Her family reported that it took about a week until they were notified about Emily's disappearance, and that her mother was worried and even told her case manager she's not heard from Emily. On February 19th, officials with the Bureau of Indian Affairs contacted the Mesa Police Department saying they believed they had a Jane Doe who was the missing teen that everybody had been looking for. And about a week later, those remains that were found on February 14th, 2025, were identified as Emily Pike. Her remains were found off of US 60, northeast of Globe, nearly 100 miles from where she had been last seen, which at this point changed her case from a missing person to a homicide case. Now, this is going to be a trigger warning. It is pretty gruesome how Emily was found, so if you have a queasy stomach, I suggest jumping ahead a couple of seconds. But Emily was found dismembered in several contractor trash bags. Her torso and her head were found in one bag, and her legs were found in the other. At this time, and currently, her arms and hands are still missing, although volunteers are still out searching for them. At this time, police still haven't found any sort of weapon, and the cause of her death is still under investigation. And nothing has pointed them to a definitive subject or person of interest. Her preliminary autopsy, which at the time of this recording is all I've been able to locate, state that she had had visible face and head trauma. Personally, I believe Emily put up a hell of a fight, and that's why her arms and hands are still missing, because her killer is doing everything they can to prevent their DNA from being uncovered, and I believe that she put up one hell of a fight, and that under her nails probably gonna lead us directly to her killer. Sadly, Emily's case is also not the only unsolved murder on this very same stretch of highway. In 2021, a man was found in the exact same location that Emily was found. It was a native man, and he was found at milepost 27731 Leo Harry White. He was found shot to death. There had been some leads in his case, but no arrest. The main difference is that his death occurred there at the location. It was done inside of a car, while Emily's was not. Police do not believe that Emily was killed where they located her remains. So that's the main difference, and police believe because of that difference that these cases are not connected, despite being in the exact same location. Which I get it. There's a big discrepancy. 31-year-old man with a 14-year-old girl. I mean, he was shot. She was sadly dismembered. I mean, there are a lot of differences in these cases, but to be in the exact same location on the exact same stretch of highway does seem just a tiny bit odd to me. But, I wish I had better news to report, or that more information was available in regards to Emily. I'm going to keep following her case for updates as they occur, and I will probably do an updated video if anyone ever becomes a suspect or anything like that. There was a candlelight vigil held for Emily by her tribe on March 15th. Hundreds of people showed up, some holding signs, others wearing red or pink in honor of Emily, or some had red handprints across their mouth, and they were gathered in front of the Apache Gold Casino to honor Emily and demonstrate their support for her family and all of those who are affected by the crisis of missing and murdered Indigenous peoples. The only good thing that I can say that has come from this absolute tragedy is that a bill that had been started in written in January of 2025 was passed unanimously on February 24th, 2025. The bill models the amber and silver alerts that we already have. However, they are designed to be an alert system for missing Indigenous people, something that lawmakers believe will bring awareness to this ongoing crisis of missing and murdered Indigenous people. The alerts will help reach people who just never even knew these people went missing or to even be on the look for them. There has been a lot also about the group home that Emily was in. And while I don't know much about how group homes operate, I have worked in childcare, and you have to report everything, and I mean everything. A kid accidentally scratches their own face and you have to report it. If they fall or bump their knee, you have to report it. If another kid pinches a child, you have to report it. Honestly, it gets to the point with reportings that even parents are like, just give me the paper to sign. Why does everything have to be reported? So from what I've seen about people and going on about this group home is that there have been over 30 missing people reports from the home. And while I don't know if the facility was legitimately a good facility or not, I do know that anything that has to do with children and being under the supervision of others, absolutely everything gets reported. And I did uncover that a lot of the reports were missing people reports. Well, the group home has to report a child is missing if they're even 5 minutes late coming home from school or the park, or if they walked out the front door on their own volition. So I did find an interview with the group home manager. It was from Arizona's Family. And I know some people are saying that the group home that she was in was closed. I've not been able to confirm any of that. While I do have a name that I found that may be the home that Emily was in, I don't know if it's actually that home, so I'm not going to blast it. However, I will go through the interview that I did uncover. So the question presented to the group home manager was, is it mandatory to report the kids missing when they leave? And what is the protocol with the police department? The answer was yes. The group home must report all children missing, even if they leave to go to the store without permission. The majority of our reports are regarding the same child leaving without permission. Question: when a kid runs away, why doesn't staff go to search for them? Answer: we are a standard group home. We are a hands-off facility. We will never put a hand on a child. The only reason to even touch a child is to keep them safe from harm, for example, from running into ongoing traffic. When upset, we have been known to call Mesa Police and stay on the phone and follow our children until police assist us, which is always immediately when our children are in danger to themselves or others. Question: are there 30 kids missing? How many of these are accounted for now or came back? Answer: no, there are not 30 missing children from our home. All of our children who have been reported missing have been accounted for. Those children who did not return to the home were placed in other facilities for many different reasons, including a higher level of care for their safety. Safety always comes first. Question: why are they running away in the first place? Is there a better way to prevent them from running away in the first place? Answer: children run away for many reasons, to include missing their family. The state has an amazing system set up for children to visit with their families with permission from guardians. The group home helps with visitation, as well as to ensure visitation is increased when possible. Missing their friends because they are not used to following rules and structure, and because they have mental health conditions, etc. Question: what happened the day Emily went missing? Did you call Mesa PD right away? Answer: the group home staff followed all protocol. Question: what was your contact with Mesa PD in the days and weeks after Emily's disappearance? Have they given you any updates? Answer: Mesa Police has been in contact with the group home. There is an open investigation going to catch whoever did this. They are working ongoing. We are not going to get in the way of their investigation. Question: have police interviewed or questioned you and the people in the group home as part of Emily's investigation? Answer: yes. Question: how scary and upsetting is it to you that your staff and the kids at the group home? How are you dealing with it? Answer: this is traumatic for all of us. Our lives have been changed forever. We have an amazing people in the community who are wrapping us in resources to support us during this difficult time. We are hurting. People on the internet have been horrible. They have somehow forgotten that there is a killer out there. They are threatening to leak to our homes. We need our children to feel safe and protected. We need our staff to feel safe and secure while taking care of our children. Question: do you believe the public has a misconception of the group home? Answer: yes, I realize people don't have all the facts. We trust law enforcement to provide justice for Emily. Our group home puts everything we can into our children. We have been open for 24 years. We are still in contact with 95% of the children who have lived in our home. We have children who have graduated college, who are currently in college, who have an amazing, successful businesses, who have large, beautiful families. We parent our children and sometimes their families. We are about the reunification of children and their families. We do the best we can with our children to make sure that they have the best chance at a bright future. We want to create the most normal environment for them possible. They take vacations, participate in sports, attend sporting events. We treat our children as if we birthed them ourselves. All of our children receive mentors. Right now, we are hurting. Right now, we are devastated. Question: how long has the group home been open, and do you have all native kids from the reservations? Answer: the group home has been open for 24 years. The owner of the group home has been working in the field of children and family for 35 years. She has a 35-year history of advocating for children and families. The group home has many contracts. Also, children are placed in group homes for safety when all of the resources have been exhausted. Group homes are not a punishment. They are a temporary supportive resource. We ask that the public allow the police to complete their investigation for Emily's sake and for the sake of her family. Her soul deserves to be at peace. She did not deserve this. Arizona's family had also reached out to the Department of Child Services about the investigation and the group home, and they sent the following statement. Like the community, the department was shocked and saddened to learn about the horrific murder of Emily Pike. We support law enforcement and their efforts to find and hold accountable the person who committed this heinous crime and all of those who target vulnerable children. Publicly, those in foster care, at this time, the department does not believe any action taken or not to be taken by the group home caused this terrible outcome. In this case, we have opened a licensing inquiry to determine whether appropriate steps were taken by the group home during this incident. So there is a case regarding the group home being under investigation. And I mean, like I said, I've worked in childcare, I worked in a daycare, and there are numerous times that they come to check if just to make sure that reportings are correct. So for those who do believe they know the home that Emily was in, can we remember that it wasn't the home who did this to Emily? And remember that there are other children that need protection within that home. I'm not here to defend it. Like I said, I don't know how it's been run. I don't know anything about it. But I do know that Emily left the home on her own volition. She left to go home. And the group home did not cause this tragedy to happen. So maybe let's cut back on some of the hate toward the group home just for a little bit. Emily's tribe is currently offering a $75,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest and conviction in Emily's case. The police say that they are receiving leads and tips every single day. It is still an active investigation, and they are doing their best to find the monster who did this to Emily. They are still requesting public assistance in this case for more information. Anyone with information should call the Gila County Sheriff's Office at 928-200-2352 or the Bureau of Indian Affairs Special Agent at 505-917-7830 or the San Carlos Apache Tribal Police Detective at 928-475-1755, all of which I will have listed in the show notes. They are still accepting all tips and leads. I honestly wish I could end this on a more positive note, but if anyone has any information at all, no matter how small you think it is, please reach out and share that information with proper authorities so that we can find the monster who did this to Emily. Sadly, that is all that I have for you today. So until next time, stay safe, and I will talk to you later.